Brewing from Southside in the PMG studio, and you're tuning into. Alright, so here I'm talking with Falliey. Oh man, you got a lot of stuff going on right now. You got
Yes,
you're nominated for a few awards at the Portsmouth Radar Awards.
Yes,
you got the stuff going on with PMG.
Yes, sir.
But what I want to talk about straight away is your Virgo Traits release set for November 5th.
Yes.
So tell me about the concept behind the album.
Alright, so basically with the album, it's like how it started is not how it ended. Obviously, when I started it, as like a bit of an EP. It had like one track that came from a previous EP that didn't happen, and then like as obviously everything went on with PMG, P1 Records, I started getting into like more of my business like side of things, and then I obviously announced that like this is gonna be like the last like project. And obviously with that like announcement, a lot of people were like, wait, hold on, like this and that, boom, boom, and then I ended up sending out like an invite to like as many artists as I could, to get like a studio session running, and this is while I was obviously signing artists and like engineers and such to the label, and yeah, so eventually like it all come together at the right moment. Obviously this is when we had kind of like this space, but like inside of my apartment, and yeah, and then like it was just a collaborative effort, and yeah, it really changed from what it was supposed to be originally, just being an EP, to being this big massive collaborative like mixtape. I almost want to call it an album. I just don't want it to be my debut album, but like it's just like an album that like it means a lot because there's so many people from the city on it, and yeah, a lot of people stepped up.
Yeah, so it's dope, man. I see you got 11 tracks on there. You got about half the Portsmouth creative scene on the album.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was all done in the old place. You moved to the new place with PMG.
Yeah.
But you touched on something now I need to ask you about.
Yes, sir.
You said on the original promo post that was put out a while ago, it's the last Falliey project, right? Now you reshared that onto your story the other day with a cap emoji. Now, given you just released the Pappy's freestyle,
yeah.
I ask, that's cap, right?
I said that's a straight cap. Yeah. No, you know what it is, yeah? I'm gonna say that it's let me release the project and see what happens. Obviously, with the business itself and PMG and stuff like that, it got to a point where it is now a lot faster than I thought it ever would. Do you know what I mean? So when I said these type of things, I was in preparation of like, okay, like I'm gonna be like really, there's no chance for me to even like make music, like, do you know what I mean? Because I was like, okay, well, yeah, we're gonna be in an apartment for like a year, and then maybe we'll find a space and this and that and blah blah. Like, well, like just over 3 months into this thing, we've moved out, got a multi-story place. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all of these things is like, okay, I'm like, oh, okay, well, hold on, I can have a little, I can do a little, like, you know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, yeah, I don't want to say that, okay, in me saying that, oh, it's not the end or this or that, it's like taking anything away from the project or this or that. It is what it is, isn't it? But obviously I feel like as creatives, we always have to be able to have that exit. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes, more time, you're forced, like you feel like you're forced to be in the thing forever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like everyone should be able to take a moment. If you want to take a moment, it doesn't have to be that hyper focus, continuous, like 24/7, 365 days, like a year type thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and especially like when you think about how it was done before, yeah, like back in the day, like it wasn't possible to do it 24/7, 365. Like it wasn't possible. Like, do you know what I mean? You're gonna have to release. You're gonna have to record. Then you're gonna have to get them recorded, like printed on a CD, yeah, or what is even the word? Like on a CD, essentially, yeah. And then you're gonna have to distribute it, and then you're gonna have to do marketing, and then you're gonna have to do music videos, and then you're gonna have to submit that to MTV, and then MTV is gonna play it, and then you're gonna release your thing. So it's like it wasn't normal to just be like constantly on, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, in my eyes, it's like, again, when I was doing, like, when I was younger or whatever, it was like, okay, like I just wanna like be like active. That's why like last year, like I released like 15 music videos in like a year. Like, do you know what I mean? And like this year, the only official like release that's like on Spotify and this and that, blah blah, is Litty, and that was in January. Yeah, like in January. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Litty was actually a hard track, man. I got to ask, who produced that?
Who produced it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Nah, no one's ever gonna know that.
You don't want anyone else to know who his producer is. All right.
Nah, there's multiple producers in it. I'll let you know about like local producers, like, you know, like Hush Cloud. I'll let you know about Frankie Beats and this and that. But like with the producer that done like Litty, that's like, I've used his beats like since the beginning, yeah. And it's just like, you know what, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta hold on to one thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you find it, you find it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's unknown. You feel me?
Everyone has their secret weapons, innit? So you mentioned Hush Clout there.
Yes, yes, sir.
So the Virgo Traits album has a lot of features, including him, Dockham. There's also the track with NBA and Panel on there, What You Know. Mm-hmm. That was a previous release that I wrote an article about on Southside. Yeah, tell us about that track again. What's the message behind What You Know?
What You Know, okay, so like, I feel like it's even more prevalent than like ever. It's like, you know, what you know about putting in work, like, do you know what I mean? Like, what you know about like actually like just going in, like taking the risk, like diving in, do you know what I mean? Like doing what needs to be done because that's what you feel in your core, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and when I made that track, like, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of my tracks, obviously, like, I was talking about this moment, do you know what I mean? But then I'm in this weird state where I didn't expect this moment to be here already. So then I'm like, oh wait, like I listen back to these tracks, I'm like, oh damn, like do you know what I mean? Like, it's weird, but anyway, like, yeah, with What You Know, like, it was just about literally just talking about like putting in work, grinding, putting in a shift, taking a risk, and like if you feel like something's too far, yeah, more likely do it. Do you know what I mean? Because that's probably where the ambition, that's where the dream, that's where everything's gonna activate, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? If you feel like something is just like directly possible, it's like, okay, yeah, I can just do that. Like, it's not a challenge, do you know what I mean? And all of this stuff comes from a challenge. So like, I feel like even back then, like, I was thinking a lot about like all of that. So,
alright, so I suppose you're putting in work a lot with this stuff here at PMG. Is it fair to say, coming back to what you said, you know, the cap about stopping music? Coming back to that, is it fair to say that you've had a change in priorities? Like this is your number one now. You know, get you know, with PO1 Records, managing other artists.
Yeah.
You're putting that ahead of your own music game.
Yeah, no, like 100%. Like all of that is ahead of like anything like musically. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or anything like with me or myself. But then also, I do understand that I am still like prevalent, like, and young and stuff like that, and I do need to like sometimes it is easier to say like, I'll do this when you've done it, you know what I mean? So I try to do enough things so I can be like, right, oh yeah, like that, you see like how that was done, like, do you know what I mean? Like, let's try to do something like that, do you know what I mean? So like, again, like, a lot of things are just changing on the fly, like, do you know what I mean? Like, more than like I could honestly like say that I expected, and like that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like, it's sick. Like, do you know what I mean? It's good for the city. It's good for everyone. But like for myself, I'll say that, like, I don't know. Maybe ask me next year.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but one, you do create some really good music, man. And I saw a really good performance of Censored at Victoria's Festival.
Yeah.
That's a hot track. You got to watch when that comes out.
Yeah.
But well, you said that there's a video for that releasing as well.
Yes.
When is that releasing?
November 5th.
So it's coming out on the same day as the LP.
Yeah.
Sweet. And throughout the whole, because obviously I've heard it, throughout the whole album, there's some really good production, consistently good production in it.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the. Was it a production by committee, or, you know, was it just one guy on it? Who produced the album?
So obviously, like, beats came from like several producers, but in terms of like mix, mastering, the engineering, the recording, that was Hush Clout, and that was also Obi. So like, we did that again, like in the other space. It felt, like, it was just amazing, because it was just like a lot of artists just coming in. It was wholesome, you know what I mean? People meeting for the first time and stuff like that. And then we made like a lot of like banging tunes, do you know what I mean? There's some songs that we made that like hasn't even made it to the project, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, we made a lot of stuff, and like I feel like there's from that couple evenings, relationships have like spiraled. Like you see a couple artists like together, or a couple people together, and you're just like, oh, like that's so sick. Like that happened from that. Like, do you know what I mean? And like I want that to always be the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? But like in terms of like putting it all together, like like Hush and Obi, they really put like a shift, like a proper shift in. Like, do you know what I mean? Things got mixed like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, maybe even 8 times on a couple things. Do you know what I mean? So like even like for example like Intermission, like I made that originally myself and then like mixed it like 2 times and then Hush mixed it like another 6 times. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it went through like a process for it to be what it is gonna be when people hear it. And do you know what I mean? Like it is a mixtape, but like we put in like album level amount of work in a short time. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, yeah. So you said it's a great collaborative project. Loads of people, meeting for the first time. They've gone on to do other things. I suppose that's the kind of environment you're trying to create with PO1. Is that right? Like
100%. Like even with PO1 and with PMG, like just trying to put a space, like a safe space and a creative space for people to come and really like strive for what they're like. Their potential, like what they're like, what they can do. Like for example, like I think about like obviously I've been making content since like 2008, 2009. Do you know what I mean? So like I've been doing this thing, like not just directly music, like videos, all of these things, like little short films, like all of these things. You know what I mean? And I never necessarily had just direct accessibility to like equipment, spaces, like people that are skilled, all of these things. And I wonder that, okay, back then if I did, like what would have happened? Like, do you know what I mean? So then I see that like this new generation of just like like people are content creators, and even if they're not content creators, like they do that on the side and stuff like this. It's just like, okay, what could happen if we make it accessible, we make it easy, we make it like friendly, do you know what I mean? All of these things, and like we make it like multi-scaled. Like it's not just it's just a music studio. No, it's like like we do photography. No, we do videography. Like a YouTuber like come through, TikTok like come through, your artists come through. Do you know what I mean? Like, but we're also serving like local businesses. Like, do you know what I mean? We're also hosting events. We also got like a modeling agency with influencers and this and that, making it easy for them to get bookings and all of these things, like simplifying the whole process. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody wants to do this stuff and everybody wants to get paid and everybody wants to do it correctly. So then it's like, that's why we've got to come together and band together and then do it. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's Portsmouth Media Group, and the group is very essential, trying to bring everybody together. Do you know what I mean? Like, the city has so much talent, has so much potential. If it all come together, if it all collabed, like there's no stopping us. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like especially like next year, like we have to make it our own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're providing the full package. People
trying 360. You're trying.
Right, so Nimi is your pal, your business partner.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about what you, him, and the other guys at PMG have come. Tell me about the journey you've come through so far, and where you're headed to.
Boy, alright, the journey so far, it's just been crazy, man. I'm not even gonna lie, it's just been crazy. Like, essentially, obviously, we started off the business in our apartment. And we converted our front room into like a split studio. First it was like a photo studio and a podcast studio, and then it became a music studio and a photo studio. And we done like a graduation like situation there. We recorded like Virgo Traits. Other things were recorded there. And then this place became available to us in a quick time. We was able to afford it, we got it, we moved in, and then like our biggest situation was that we're always making content. So like we made like an ad like for the old place. I mean, we never put it out. Yeah, we didn't have enough time because we had moved into the new place and it's never gonna go out. Like because we're now in the new place. Like there was a lot of situations like that. Like, do you know what I mean? So but then we come here, like we had to do a lot of work here. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone put in a whole Bob the Builder shift, like, do you know what I mean? Like scrubbing the floors, like repainting things, wallpaper, bringing new desks, new furniture, sofa, boom, 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 like all of these things, making it like an environment for people to come into, like all of this stuff. And now we're here. We're ready to serve. the city essentially. Do you know what I mean? We're in a nice position. We're in the middle of the city, we're in the heart.
Right, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like this is the start of like the next generation of things, because I'm fully aware that there was a previous generation. Do you know what I mean? And they let they made things happen in it. They put certain people in positions and this and that and blah blah. Do you know what I mean? And it's like everything goes. There's always like a re-innovation period. Do you know what I mean? We're not using the same like brick phones that we used to use. You're using iPhones. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, it's like cool. Now it's time to just make it big, make it new, make it shiny, make it fancy, and make it hard. You know what I mean? So
yeah, dope. Right. So you're serving the city of Portsmouth, bringing the whole scene in with you, bringing it all together. Obviously stronger together than we are apart, right? But is this exclusive for Portsmouth people, or can people come outside?
Oh no, like you know, come in, come to Portsmouth. Do you know what I mean? Like, make it part of like the Come to Portsmouth campaign or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, definitely people come through. If you're around the South Coast and that, like, come through. If you're in London, come through. Do you know what I mean? Like, take a break from all that other stuff. Like, the city is beautiful. The city is nice. It's got like mad talent, mad just charisma. Like, it's nice. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, most definitely, like, come through. Like, anybody is welcome. But I am very determined on lifting the city up. Do you know what I mean? Other cities have already been lifted. Do you know what I mean? And we're so talented and stuff like, it's just like, it's just about time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Nice,
man. So before we wrap this up, we've got to ask, what awards are you nominated for at the Radar Awards? Can you remember?
I'm nominated for Best Male Act, Best Album / mixtape, and Portsmouth Media Group is nominated as a studio. But a lot of PR1 record artists are nominated, and just general, you know, like everyone else as well. Like, so, like, yeah, no, like, it should be a good time.
Sweet, man. Glad to hear it's going well. I'm looking forward to the album release on November 5th.
Come on now. Nah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it.